What's up, witches? It's Luna here with an unboxing for you, and this is take two, because it's such a bright, cloudy day that this deck was giving me fits. So I've already got it all zoomed in. Let's just jump in and see what the hell I'm talking about, Today I am looking at Goetia, Tarot in Darkness by Fabio Listrani. This is an LS deck, Lo Scarabeo, and I've had it for months. It's been so long since I've even looked through it that I don't remember, so it's almost like a real unboxing. As you know, most of my unboxings I've already looked at the deck, but this one I don't even remember. We have Lo Scarabeo, we have a sigil, and an alphabet thingy, and another geometric thing, 78 tarot cards with book. We have a more detailed design here. And then more sigils on this side. This is Lo Scarabeo. We don't have a copyright date on the bottom. So nice sturdy box. There's a sigil on top too. The deck itself is so shiny that I've had to close my blackout curtains so you can actually see what's going on without too much reflection. So here's the book. And as with all LS books, or most of them I should say, this has several languages in it. And the first 33 pages of the book is the English bit. This has English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. And I'm going to read some of the introduction here so you understand what it is we're looking at. The project you were holding was born of my desire to propose a new and modern guise for part of the anonymous 17th century grimoire called Le Megaton Clavicula Salomonis, dedicated to the Ars Goetia, the magical practice designed for evoking and invoking demons. My goal was to reawaken and modernize this sacred practice via a deeply esoteric and ceremonial tarot deck, where each demon becomes not only an arcanum, but also a source of connections and associations that will allow you to descend into the depths of your subconscious, right where your shadow has teeth, claws, and horns. We accomplished this with attentive research using some of the most respected sources in the field, from the attributions of Aleister Crowley to those of Eliphas Levi on the Shemham Farash, or the more recent ones by Stephen Skinner. There's no reason to interpret this descent or fall in a negative way. So demons were fallen angels, as it were. And in the practice of ceremonial magic, they are not seen as necessarily evil. They're just elemental. They're just energies, but they're not, the angelic divine ones. They're more on the order of the shadow. And the practice is about setting up a very airtight circle where you can invite these entities in and then bind them, constrain them to do your bidding. So there's that part. And then we've got another big introduction. Let me read this little part. With this book, we would like to propose or merely suggest a point of view on demons that is foreign to superstition, to religious or popular traditions, which have often transformed them into evil entities with the single purpose of influencing mankind in a negative manner, corrupting us, leading us astray, and in the worst and most folkloristic hypotheses, even entering our bodies to use us as puppets for their own nefarious purposes. What you will find in this book is a more laic conception, so like layperson, if you will, or better yet, a psychological one of their nature and their influence, a conception that befits their original role, where a demon was nothing but an intermediary between man and God. Okay. In Greece especially, they were considered to be forces that could elevate man, intermediaries between the high and the low, especially when conscious, rational, and logical thought was no longer enough, but they were also seen as beings that watched over man, sharing his sentiments. So what you should know about this book is this whole beginning. I said, 30 pages, and there's some spots in here where you see a different color text, if you could, because this is so frickin' bright. And we've got the structure, and we've got, explanations. And then the last 4 pages, we get to this table. Good grief. It is so very bright. We get to this table of all the cards, and this is where you find the meanings. So all of this talking, all these, 20-some pages here, are just an introduction to the deck. And then the map of the cards, we'll keep this handy as we look through. So here is the typical Lo Scarabeo facing card, which can be used as a blocking card. Then we have the deck's facing card, which can also be used as a blocking card. And here we see the backs of the cards. You will note it is a super chunky deck. So, not having been shuffled, I can't wait to see. And this is, believe it or not, the clearest, least glare that I could get, that you can see what's going on. So we have a sigil here. We have the number 1. So we have the sigil of the demon, the original number by which the demon was classified in the Lemegeton Claviculus Salomonis, the Lesser Key of Solomon, which in this case is number 1. The name of the demon, which is Baal. The number of the tarot card to use Goetia as a regular deck, which in this case is 14. And then we have the name of the tarot card to use Goetia as a regular deck, and that's the King of Wands. Then we have the planetary attribution, the Sun, the zodiacal attribution, Aries, and then the esoteric attribution of the demon with his tarot card as it was attributed by Eliphas Levi or Aleister Crowley, i.e. only the minor arcana, including court cards and aces. I'm confused. Demon is traditionally associated, okay, in this case, Baal is associated with the 2 of Wands. Okay, because that's fire. So lots of information just on the card, lots of information and association. So here we have Baal, and we've got this little froggy-like creature. Then we have Agares, number 2. His attribution is the Page of Wands, and Page of Wands here, and then 3 of fire, or 3 of Wands. I wish you could see them better. And then, of course, they are so glossy. How nice it would have been for this to be a matte deck. We've got this big dragon here. Okay, let's just go through. Vasago, number 3, 4 of Wands. And this is Gamagin. The artwork is stunning. I wish you could see it better, but it's just impossible. This is Queen of Pentacles. It's just very difficult. This is Marbas, the Hierophant. And this is Valifor, the Fool. So you see, we are in order of the demons from the Lesser Key of Solomon. We are not in order of a tarot deck. So, of course, you know me, I'm going to have to sit and sort them all out as a tarot deck and see how it goes. The Fool. So you're not going to find images that remind you of these tarot cards. You're going to find an image of the demon. This is Ammon, and this is the 8 of Swords. So if you think about the 8 of Swords being, caught in a trap of your own making, gosh, that almost works to tilt them. Yeah, that actually works. You don't see that image of 8 of Swords. You see this creature biting its own tail. So, and you see the swords pointing in like this. So there is an allusion to it. Then we have Barbatos. It's the 9 of Swords. And we've got all these kind of trumpets. Right. The sigils are something else. They're very complex. This is Paimon, the 10 of Swords. Boer, King of Cups. And kings have, yes, the number 14, so they go king down, I believe. No. 10. Yeah, no. Never mind. This is Goetia, and this is Temperance. Number 12 is Citri, Queen of Cups. I mean, they're just gorgeous images. Look at this. There's a lot there to see. And oh, if only it were easy to see them. Yeah, I need some new cameras, and I also need a new computer. What are you going to do? All right, 13 is the Five of Wands. This is Belith. 14 is Laraje. Best I can do, sorry, Six of Wands. 15 is Eligos, the Seven of Wands. Zipar is 16, the 12, which is the Knight of Pentacles. Certainly looks like a knight. Botus, 17, Page of Pentacles. Bathin, 10 of Pentacles. Look at the horse with all the legs and the Gemini. So yes, Gemini, Venus, Gemini. Salios, 19. That's the Two of Swords. And there are two swords there. What do you know? 20 is Person, Three of Swords. 21 is Marax, the Four of Swords. You can see the figures are like CG. Epos is number 22, and it's the Strength card, 11. 23 is Im, and it is the Six of Cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, there has been. Oh, I'm just now noticing this. That this actually has 6 cups in it. So there has been an effort to connect the two. This is Naberius, and it's the moon. And here we have cups floating again. Gorgeous image. Galasia Labolas, 25. Wow. The Eight of Wands. That's a skinwalker if I ever saw one. Shapeshifter. Bune, Judgment. Renove, 27. That's the Ten of Wands. With the Leo. Interesting. They've got the Leo symbol upside down. What's up with that? Clearly it's Leo because there's Leo. Wow. And we have 28 is Berith, the Two of Pentacles. Oh, look at that. Astaroth, King of Pentacles. She's such a clearly female demon, I'm surprised that it's a king. Anyway, Fornius is the Four of Pentacles. Little alienish looking grin there. Foras is number 31, the Page of Swords. Asmodee, I love this sigil, 32, and that's King of Swords. Gap is 33, G-A-A-P, Gap, and that's the Seven of Swords. Then we have 34, Furfur, the Page of Cups. Marcosius is the Nine of Cups. I've drawn a lot of these sigils. Stolas, the Ten of Cups. Phanex, 37, is the Two of Wands. Halfas, 38, is the Three of Wands. Malphas, 39, is the Tower. Look at that. So you're down on the ground and looking up at this bird flying. You're like in a courtyard of this huge building. Wow, that's very cool. Number 40 is Raum, the 5 of Pentacles. 41 is Folklore, 6 of Pentacles. 42 is Vepar, the 7 of Pentacles. Isn't she gorgeous? 43 is Sabnok, the Knight of Swords. 44 is Shax, the Queen of Swords. I just love that name, Shax. And they've got Moon in Scorpio, 9 of Pentacles. This is according to the Crowley system, but Queen of Swords. Wow. Okay. Vine, 45, the Sun. Oops, no, that's only one. 46, they are thick cards. 46 is Bifrons, the 2 of Cups. And 47 is Vual, the 3 of Cups. Haven't seen any aces yet. 48 is Hagenti, and the 4 of Cups. So these are just kind of going straight through the cups. Oh, until we get to this one. 49 is Procel, 13, Queen of Wands. 50, Furcus, the Hermit. Beautiful. 51, Balam, the Wheel of Fortune. Alosis is 52, 8 of Pentacles. And please, I ask forgiveness of all the demons if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. 53 is 9 of Pentacles, Kaim. 54 is Murmur, the Empress. 55 is Oribas, the World. 56 is Gemori, Death. Gemori. 57 is Os, the Hanged Man. 58 is Ami, the 5 of Cups. 59 is Aureus, the Knight of Cups. 60 is Vapula, 7 of Cups. I love that name too. 61 is Zagan, the Emperor. Vapula, it's like Dracula in his vapor state. 62, Valak, Wands. Ooh, and we have Peen. Diversity. 63 is Andras, Knight of Wands. 64, Hauris, Justice, which is the number 8 card in this deck. 65 is Andrealphus, the 3 of Pentacles. Ooh, look at the peacock. Then we have 66, Maze, the Chariot. Just gorgeous images. 67 is Amdusius, 5 of Swords. And we have the, is that Scorpio symbol? No, Pisces. No, that's the Pisces symbol, right? Then we have Belial, 6 of Swords. Oh, look at him. But you can see in this one in particular how the figures themselves, I wish you would focus. The figures themselves are very CG-esque. They definitely look computer generated. And that's okay. They look fabulous. De Carabia, 69, the Star. Oh, look at that. Seer is 70, the 8 of Cups. 71 is the High Priestess, Dantalion. Look at all her faces. So you can definitely read them as tarot. It's a good thing we've got it on the side here because you definitely couldn't pick it up from the images alone. 72 is Andromalius, the Magician. 73 is the Ace of Swords. Here we go, aces. And it just says the sword. Okay, so this isn't a demon. This is the sword. 74 is the vessel, Ace of Cups. 75 is the disc, Ace of Pentacles, and 76 is the wand, Ace of Wands. Then we have 77 is Lilith, the Lovers, and 78 is Lucifer, the Devil. Wow. All right. So let me get a charcoal out here and get you zoomed back out. That was a big zoom. Remember when I found out how to do this? What a glorious day that was. Okay, let me get a charcoal here. A half charcoal. And we're going to relight our match. All right. Now, decks like this, of course, reminding you that decks are ink and cardboard. Until you kind of consecrate and make your connection with the deck and bring the energies in. So before we start this, let's say hello to our allies and ancestors, guides and guardians. Please be with me. I know you are, and I am grateful for that every single day. And let's just give it a sound bath. You know, all of the cleansing with the elements that we do, nothing really is as powerful as a sound bath, and I don't know why I don't do it all the time. Also know that when you need to cleanse something, whatever you have at hand will do the job, because it's up here that really does the job, right? Okay, so I want to offer fresh water and the fire of Azrael to the deck and to my guides who walk with me every step of every day and send messages to my brain that sometimes I'm clever enough to pick up. Let's try a shuffle. Yeah, I wasn't very hopeful. These are all but unshuffleable. They're very thick, very thick. This deck, right off the rip, I want to say it is feeling much more like a study deck than a divination deck. So if you split the deck in half, you can actually shuffle it. That means you're taking very short stacks of cards. Oof. Yeah, they're hard. Do it this way. And in that book, you know, there was the tables at the end of the book. I will look at that closely here as soon as I'm done messing around. And okay, so we have it reasonably shuffled, and now we're going to cut shuffle. It's hard. You know, the cards aren't too long to get your fingers around, but it's such a fat deck that it's very difficult to even cut shuffle them. So we do it this way. Never let the deck win. So we've got it reasonably well shuffled. Let's go to that table and take a look at what exactly is on here. So we have the name, the card, so like number 1 says Baal, card says King of Wands, meaning creative experience. And then we have nature, adaptive control. All right, hold on. The demon cards. In the following table, the reader may find a brief table with suggested meanings for each of the demons. The first meaning refers to the traditional meaning of the card in a tarot deck, while the second meaning is referred to the nature of the Goetian demon depicted, so the nature of the demon. In another table, the reader may find all the esoteric attribution of the arcana gathered in a single place. This table can be very useful to read the cards in order to understand all the notations in it. So in another table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of this table to go through them all. clearly, again, we have an LS deck where it's been translated, or it's been written in English by a non-English speaker. That becomes kind of apparent. So the nature of Baal, of the demon itself, is adaptive control. Then we have the planet, zodiac, and the traditional tarot attribution, which is the Two of Wands. Okay, let's just see how it reads, shall we? So obviously in there are no, there might be suggestions, I haven't read it all, but there are no reverse meanings. There are no spread suggestions. So we're going to do a cut and pick, because these are so unwieldy. I wonder, and they're also such a big deck. Ooh. Let me do that again. That was fun. So I think using this in the future, if I, sit down to actually spend time with it and do readings, this is what I'm going to do. Whoo! Because boy, do they spread easy. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay, so, ooh. Let's just start with that one and go from there, shall we? So the question I always ask in these is, how do we go from just surviving into thriving? What do we need to know for our highest spiritual good today? What do we need to know in order to manifest our highest vibration? To be the best of who we are on this particular day. How do I bring my best self forward? So number 20, we have person is the demon, and it's the Three of Swords. Yikes. Okay, so what do? First thing we need to do is acknowledge our hurts, is acknowledge where we are grieving and pining, and where something has not quite gone the way we would like it to go. This can be anything from, big trauma to just a grinding sense of dissatisfaction. But the Three of Swords, think about the traditional tarot image with the heart with the swords through it. It's heartache. There's no two ways about it. I know it's so tempting as a reader, especially if you read for other people, to want to just put a positive spin on everything. But I think we have to acknowledge the negatives of life. Not everything is a party. Not everything is puppy dogs and balloons. We have to acknowledge that it's the whole wheel, and every part of the wheel is as sacred as every other part and part of the journey. So when we get a card like this coming out of the rip, we have to acknowledge that there are heartaches. There's stuff we're dealing with. We're not feeling good about some things. So then the next question becomes, where do we go with this? I'm going to do like a little pyramid spread here. Okay, so what do we need to do with this heartache in order to be the best we can be? So we're just going to build a spread as we go. There's that one, and give me another, please. Thank you. Oops. All right. So we have the Two of Pentacles, Berith, and we have the King of Pentacles, Astaroth. All right, let's go to the book. Number 20 is painful. This is how you know this was not written by an English speaker. It says painful occurrence, ACCURRANC, not occurrence. Okay. Unresolved grievance is the nature of the demon. And then Berith is number 28. We have 28 and 29. So I picked them from two different sections of the deck, and I got two in a row. Okay, Berith is equilibrium and relativism. Okay, so how do we deal with this? Well, as we're feeling the tough stuff, we make sure that we're not getting lost in it, that we're not drowning in it. We make sure that we are kind of our inner inner guardian, our inner observer, is watching us as we go through things and can recognize when I'm starting to wallow. I'm repeating this same story that keeps regenerating bad feelings, you know? And so coming back to equilibrium is in observing ourselves and how we are being in processing this grief. And if we recognize that I'm grinding away on it, then we try to pull ourselves back to equilibrium. So let's look to here to see how we might do that. And relativism is good here too, because we can say, you know, this is the worst thing ever. Well, compared to what? Have I been through better times? Have I been through worse times? Kind of positioning this hurt when we're catastrophizing something into the worst thing that's ever happened to us. We can check in and say, is that really true? You know, just to sort of find our equilibrium again. Okay, in 29, Astaroth says practical experience, and her nature is dominating power. So practical experience, this is talking about looking to the past and how you have gotten through these times before. What is your practical experience of dealing with grief and heartache? How have you gotten through it before? Have you gotten through it before? You know, there's a relativism. It's just saying, yes, I've been here before and I have managed to survive it, so I will likely survive this one too. How did I survive it? By practical measures, by just really relying on my practical experience. Also, I saw a thing come across my Facebook today, and it was something about how do you deal with pain, asking a grandmother, how do you deal with pain? And she said, with your hands, which means that's right along lines with this, which is maybe clean something, maybe just go into your private space and maybe just your nightstand and look at the nightstand and clean it off and make it look nice and neat. That can help you process things. It pulls you out of your head and out of your emotional body and into your physical body. So good advice there. Now let's see where we go with it at the bottom. I would like 3 more, please, to give me more information. I mean, that's enough information right there. We acknowledge that we're still dealing with a lot of heartache. There's still a lot of stress and trouble in the world. When is there not ever? But we're getting practical guidance in how to deal with it. Now, I would like 3 more for across the bottom. 2 want to come. All right. See if we can get kind of outcome here. More pentacles. So all, no, the first one was swords, 3 of swords. The rest of the minors are all pentacles. We have the 3 of pentacles. And look, we had the 2, the 5. So you saw me shuffle, 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 and I'm cutting the deck to get cards, and I'm getting them all like in a row. Amazing. So this is the 3 of Pentacles to balance that 3 of Swords. This is Andrealphus. And let's go to our little table. This is card number 65. Planning and executing, the 3 of Pentacles. Calculating altruism is the nature of the beast. Now, I like this already because this gives you very succinct and pithy phrases for the meanings of tarot cards. And I always appreciate succinct, to the point little phrases. So this one again is planning and executing. So how do we go beyond just this initial 2 of Pentacles? I want to go back to the 2 of Pentacles for a second there. Equilibrium. Okay. 2 of Pentacles, think about the traditional image of kind of juggling resources, weighing and balancing things out. And then Andrealphus, planning and executing. So we go from the equilibrium in the moment and going to something where we're using our body to do something in the moment, and then we we can plan and move forward even more than that. Once we're down into our body and out of our head so much, then we can kind of start looking forward from the present moment and have a plan to move forward. Then we have the 5 of Pentacles here. So we have 2, 3, 5, 14. All right. And this is card number 40. Which is, this is really hard to read. They're very small. Hardship. Collapse of certainty. So the 5 of Pentacles, yes, that is a card of hardship. So we have to acknowledge that we've got emotional stuff going on and we've got financial stuff going on. Isn't that the truth? You know, the times we're living in, and you can check the date of this is in February of 2022, are seriously troubled times. And it's like everything, we've got a lot of planetary positions that are in critical degrees. We're hitting critical mass with a lot of things as far as just where we're at as human beings on this planet in our evolution. And things are all coming into critical mass. So we've got everything running on 11. You know, we've got the economy. We're still struggling with the pandemic. We've got political things internally and inter-country-wise. I could have found a better word for that, but I didn't. And so we've got the emotional stress, and then we've also got the reality of the physical stress. And again, that card says hardship. So we have a plan of how we're going to move through this hardship. And then the last card we get here is our first major arcanum, and it is number 72, the Magician. And the Andromalius. 72. Will and action, mastery of destiny. Will and action. So what's it going to take? It's going to take us being absolutely practical. 4 pentacles here. Absolutely practical about how we are going to apply our will and what actions we're going to take. This is saying we can look ahead and make a plan. But, you know, certainly we need to have a plan when finances are involved. There are resources all over the place that came up because of the pandemic. And, you know, more resources are available. So we make a practical plan to find the resources, to do the research, to take the actual physical steps to decide. Will and mastery, decide how we're going to use our resources, how we're going to structure things, where we want to go from here, how we can pare down a lifestyle if it's even pare downable anymore. And that takes us out. But wow, I mean, this deck, it's a little fiddly with the tiny print and the tables and everything, but it certainly reads. This has certainly acknowledged where we are as a species on this planet, that we're in crisis right now on many levels, and that we need to acknowledge the heartbreak, we need to acknowledge the crises, and then we need to take practical steps to create a plan, and then we apply our will. The Magician says, I have all of the tools that I need. So we've got the the cup here, the sword here, the pentacle. Do I see a wand? I don't see a wand. Oh, well, there is a snake. Well, what we know is that the Magician has all the tools available. He is trained. He has the skill. He's got all he needs in order to do what he needs to do, and he's at the starting point. So this says that it's time to really get busy, looking at the long term, bringing ourselves into the present moment to deal with the stress, to deal with the physical emotions that are going through, and then to create the plan. Step into that magician role. I have what I need to shape my life into what I want it to be. All right? Hey, yeah. Is it a deck I'm going to reach for often? Probably not. But wow, is this a deck for when you're dealing with shadow stuff? You know, when you're hurting, when you're just in the dark place. That's where these demons abide. So why would you not go to them to help you out of the dark place when it's the ground, you know, the territory that they know the best? Okay, hey, there we go. Well, thank thank you so much for clicking that button, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. It is a beautiful deck to have in a collection. As far as, readability and shuffleability and everything, not so much. But I am happy to have it in the collection. I really do like the dark decks, being a very Plutonian person myself. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you will know when I drop videos. And not only like, but please tell me your thoughts on this. I love to engage with you when you comment, and it helps the algorithm find me. So please drop a comment down below and let's have a conversation about this deck. What did you think of it? Is it something you'd be interested in? Do you work with demons? Do you do ceremonial magic? I would like to hear from somebody that has experience with this type of magic, and see what your thoughts are on this deck. All right, great. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you next time. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.